Greetings to all you happy slot car enthusiasts. If you're watching this, then you're seeing at long last the realisation of the ambition of a bloke who would have loved a Scalextric set when I was a kid, but I've had to wait around another 70 years. I bought a cheap 9x5 ping pong table, edged it with skirting board, painted up with silver hammerite, and a second-hand load of Scalextric digital track and a few cars, fitted up with digital plugs as necessary. I've learnt an awful lot along the way, and I'm certainly still learning. So far as the cars are concerned, some of them have a longer wheelbase, which can cause trouble on cornering, and I'm still learning about tyres. If they're too smooth, the skidding on the corners becomes lethal. The Ford GT40 probably went best until, for some reason I haven't understood, it simply stopped working. Now it's in the garage, where I've created a kind of maintenance area using some random 30-second scale cars and a lot of mechanic figures painted up in various liveries. By the way, I like the concrete gunk which is made by AK. I painted a few tyre skid marks on it with black paint. The track layout is more or less a copy of one I saw on the internet, and it works very well. As you can see, I wasn't satisfied with just track and cars and set to work to learn a bit about modelling. There's lots of advice and how-to videos on YouTube from folk who clearly know a thing or two. In fact, it's more than impressive just how much time, effort and enthusiasm people put into all this as a hobby. I'm just a rank beginner and my life's pretty busy anyway, so I don't intend to become a full-time slot car fanatic. But I'm having a lot of fun when other jobs and commitments are out of the way for an hour or two. Here's a tour around the track. You'll see some model buildings by Magnetic Racing, who really do provide superb flat kits. Everything fits together with great precision. The online instructions are clear, comprehensive and easy to follow. The only thing is, they leave you to paint it all up. And, probably my greatest challenge, to populate your diorama with tiny plastic people which you have to paint with tiny brushes. So far I've painted up well over 100. It's a good job I like listening to music while I paint. I made hills and embankments with foam insulation from Wix using a combination of hot knife and modelling blade. Having got the basic shape, I smoothed things out with papier-mâché and then covered the whole area with Mod Rock before overcoating with Mod Podge. A primer base coat is important in case of show-through later, as this embankment shows. I used Vallejo German Green Brown. I toyed with the idea of static grass, which I understand stands up like real grass by means of an electrical charge, but I couldn't be bothered and just went for some flock grass mix from 4D Model Shop, with which I put a bit of AK Flock Summer and Late Fall, so that it isn't too uniform. Overcoating is essential for fixing everything in place, so a liberal spraying with Scenic Cement from Woodland Scenics. Oh yes, I also randomly sprinkled some AGT natural gravel, which has little bits of green in it, so that the whole landscape looks a bit more natural. Trees are pretty much cheating. From Woodland Scenics again. They're expensive, but they do look good, I think you'll agree. All I did was to paint the trunks. Oh yes, and sprinkle some forest floor from Scale Model Scenery underneath them for a bit of extra realism. Gravel I got from my local garden centre, sieving it when I needed it finer. Here and there are gravel tracks which are made of cork granules from Slot Track Scenics. Oh yes, a note about track support pillars. Lots of those little grey pieces that plug into each other, but I found that they were slipping and falling over. So I made bases for them out of plasticine, and once I was certain where they needed to be, I glued them down. Now as I come to the end of all the modelling, I realise I've enjoyed it so much that I'll miss it when it's all over. I'm really lucky to have a room with a good deal of space and just enough to add on another 9x5 ping pong table, and that's just what I've done. Some more straights on this one so that we can get a bit of speed here and there. I think I'm pretty happy with the layout, and here's a couple of laps of the whole thing. There's a slot car festival next weekend, and I'm not going to start doing any modelling on this half of the track until I've been and had a good snoop around. I'll be looking for ideas, probably a pit lane, maybe some water features, and I vaguely wonder about a helicopter landing pad on a 32nd scale radio controlled helicopter, bringing the overpaid drivers to the race. Going ARC Pro sounds like a good plan. I'd love some more ideas. If you feel like giving me any from your own experience, just leave me a comment. That's it for now, but maybe one day I'll make another video to show you what actually happened to the second half of a slot car track, which I've probably been thinking about off and on for around 70 years. Thanks for watching.